Hey guys, hey, this is Anne Marie, Fall Girl Will Travel, and I am getting ready to meet a friend to go out and have some drinks and cocktails. And I decided I'd make a quick video while I'm doing this because I've been thinking about this all day and I got to get it out of my brain, I guess. But I have been thinking since this morning. I literally woke up with this in my brain. And I did a little post about it, but I want to expand on what I was saying. I made a post earlier today. It's Saturday. I believe it's the 22nd. Yeah, I think so. Where I talked about, no, it's the 23rd because Monday's the 25th. I talked about the need for Black folk to start doing some more gatekeeping. People of color in general, but especially Black people, Black Americans. But I mean this for all Black people, because this is a problem to me across the diaspora. We share too much of our culture and we allow them to gentrify our culture and exploit our culture in so many ways, okay? And I really got this in my mind because I've been, I'm on social media. That's a part of what I do. And I noticed, we talked about minding our business unless it is a necessity or important for our community. And I'm noticing, I expect, the Alabaster Army, that's just what I'm going to call them, the Kevins and the Karens and the Kyles and the Brads and the Beckys, to have concerns about us doing this. That's to be expected, right? And that doesn't shock me. What is concerning to me is that so many of us are having difficulty minding our business and not engaging. And, a lot of us are engaging by constantly declaring that we're going to mind our business on social media, but then constantly reporting about what they're doing or what they're saying in response to us minding our business. And here's the thing, as I recently posted on my threads, and I am on threads, by the way. I have two different profiles on threads, one for my travel and one for HR. And I think I actually said this on my travel platform, because I've basically tried to cleanse my travel platform, because all I really want to see on there is stuff about travel. I just want to see happy things about style and travel. And so I have pretty much tried to purge anything related to politics, anything related to the election, anything related to anything that doesn't have to do with happy travel off of there. Because when I go on there, that's all I want to see right now. And on my HR platform, I have more, I'm allowing everything in there because I'm interested. It's not that I don't want to know. I think knowledge is power. But I don't even engage as much on there. But I do pay attention on both places. And what I'm noticing is, as much as I have purged, I keep seeing Black people, Black women in particular, on there talking about stuff that they are saying and doing on TikTok and other places about us. And the thing is, if you really are minding your business and you really do not care about what people have to say or what other people are doing, stop talking about it. Let them get on whatever social media platforms and say whatever they want. Because the reality is, if we truly are not engaging with them, it's going to deeply disturb them, right? And so they're going to do things to try to get your engagement. They're going to do things to try to get you to respond, right? But that doesn't mean that you have to. And if you are, in fact, a free human being who is operating with autonomy that is not dependent on the opinion of Kyle and Karen, what they're saying and doing doesn't matter, right? And so if we are really minding our business, and I'm going to say right now before I get into that, I'm not interested in your opinions about how I put my makeup on my face. Let me just put that out there. Talking about minding business. I don't want to hear it. However I do it is how I do it. How you do it is how you do it. But the purpose of this is not to engage in comments about whether I'm putting the concealer on the right way or whether you don't like it when I do makeup on my platform. If you don't like it, turn it off. Go watch something else. If it disturbs you so much. If you consider yourself to be a makeup expert and you can't handle watching somebody else put makeup on unless they're doing it exactly the way that you would do it, turn it off and go watch something else. Okay? Okay, back to the what I was talking about, regularly scheduled discussion, what I was talking about. Okay. So as I was saying, if you cannot ignore what people are doing, then you are incapable of minding your business. Because in fact, they can get on there and make whatever TikToks they want. And I try to spend as little time as possible on TikTok. I have 4,000 plus people following me there. And I go on there, I probably post once a week. And because I just find it to be such a cesspool of disinformation and problematic opinions that I don't spend a lot of time on there. But people keep posting videos from TikTok to talk about what other folks are doing. So I keep having to hear these things. I ignore a lot of what I hear, but I did notice a lot of people posting on threads to say we don't care. Well, if we don't care, stop posting what these people are doing and saying. We don't care. We don't care what the Karens and the Beckys are saying, that Black women in the South and all this nonsense. I didn't even read it all because I honestly and truly don't care. Okay. Now, case in point, there's one other thing I'm going to bring up in this video before I'm going to get off. But the point I want to make is seeking the white gaze is a challenge for some of us, but I encourage us to try to work our way through that, to recognize that it's a thing that we've been socialized into and work our way out of it, right? Because if we are in fact minding our business, part of it means that we stop centering them, right? We stop centering what they're saying, what they're doing, what they're thinking about us. We stop. Unless it doesn't mean you're not aware of it. It means that you can know something and not need to engage around it, not need to talk about it, not need to be, posting about it on your social media and giving it oxygen. If you want to kill something, you take its oxygen away, right? Stop paying attention to what they're doing and saying on social media, especially when they're trying to get your attention by making claims that aren't true, putting stuff out there that aren't true. Obviously, we need, on the political landscape, there's some things that are happening that I will be making separate videos about, things that I actually think Black people need to be paying attention, be concerned about, right? But some of these other things, they're just distractions and they're to be expected. Because we say we're not messing with you, the more they want you to pay attention to them. You're going to see this at work as well. The more you don't speak to them or say anything to them, the more they're going to try to make you talk to them. But you don't have to. You have the power to keep your conversations to things that are about work and nothing else. And you don't have to be mean or nasty. The nicer you are, the more it will perplex them, actually. The more polite you are about it, the more it will perplex them. And that's okay. They need to stay perplexed. Let them stay worried. Let them stay mad. Okay? But you keep it professional. You keep it about work. You don't engage about it. And don't be up on there making, 20-minute videos on social media. And I know most of you aren't doing that, but I'm responding to a lot of what I'm seeing and making these posts about it. It doesn't matter. Stop giving these people oxygen. We need to be inside of our community, supporting each other with our time, our money, and our brains right now, getting ready for the things that are coming around the corner. Okay? So that's what we need to be getting ready for, how this is going to impact our ability to thrive as a community, to make money, to be successful, for our kids to be successful. But all these things that people are talking about, we don't care. It don't matter. A lot of people, right after the election, we're minding our business. And then they're right back to the scheduled program because they want the engagement. They want the attention. If you're serious about cutting these people out the way they need to be cut out, then we're not talking about every little thing they bring up. Unless something is really important for our community, we're not talking about it. We're not engaging in it. We're not posting about it. So many things I've read this week, and I haven't posted a thing about it anywhere because I'm like, the whole purpose of this is distraction. That's the primary purpose of white supremacy and racism, is distraction. It keeps you from paying attention, as the good sister, our ancestor Toni Morrison said. It keeps you distracted from talking and thinking about the things that really matter, right? So don't get distracted, right? Now, on a quick other note, I just want to mention something else that I was reading that I think is somewhat related to this, but not exactly. But I'm going to make it related because I don't have time to make another video about it, and it's on my mind. So just the other night, I was watching, I was on YouTube actually, and I can't remember the name of the creator, but she reposted a video from TikTok from a young lady, Black young lady. I believe she said that she was a first generation American like me. Her parents are immigrants. And she was saying that she had just fired her therapist. If I can find a link to the video, I will link it here. She said she had just fired her white female therapist because she found out her therapist had voted for Donald Trump. And she was, very upset and very perplexed. And she was talking about the fact that, when she went into that voting booth, she was not just voting for herself. She was voting for all women. She was voting to keep, our freedom. She was voting for all these things. And how disappointed she was to find that her therapist went in there and was voting for claims that she was voted for him because she's concerned about the price of groceries and inflation and, the price of eggs. That's the lie that a whole bunch of them are telling, that, they voted for him because of the cost of groceries. We know that that's bullshit. We know this, right? But this is the foolishness that her therapist told her when she said she point blank asked her therapist, who did you vote for? And her therapist admitted to her that she had voted for the orange man. And she said, when her therapist gave her the explanation, she said she asked her therapist, did you even think about me? She said she'd been seeing this woman for years, right? She said she asked her, had she even thought about me and how this person coming back into office would affect me and people like me? And her therapist basically said no, she did not. And told her, I'm paid to listen to your problems, but I don't think about you like that. Something to that effect. I'm going to link the video so y'all watch it yourselves. And I chuckled as I watched this video because the first question for me was, why are you going to a white woman for therapy? That was my first question. Because in the words of a good sister that I follow, a style sister, I think her name is Tanika B. She's amazing. If you're into style and fashion, you should be following her on YouTube. But she once put in a post that she said, this was in relation to something to do with travel, but she said, I'm going to touch my hand when I tell you this. Because it was in relation to, white female content creators and getting information from them about whether a country is a safe place to go, right? And the point she was making is that if you want to determine whether a country is a safe place to go as a Black person, especially as a Black woman, you don't ask white women. You don't ask white people. Because as she said, I'm going to touch your hands when I say this. The only place that white women can lead me is astray. Okay? And that goes double to me when it comes to things like therapy, right? And healthcare. Now, I understand that some people live in rural places and they don't have access to people of color, much less Black healthcare providers, mental health care providers. But a lot of therapy now is done online, so it's much more accessible than it used to be, right? And so what I would say in the year of our Lord 2024, you should be on Google, which still remains free, doing your research. I know there's a website called Black Women Therapists or Black Therapists. I'll link it in the description of this video, where people can go and find Black women who are therapists in their area, right? I feel the same way about coaching. Let me just put that out there. When you are at work and you are told that you need coaching or you decide you want coaching, go find a Black person to do it. Specifically, find a Black woman to do it, okay? I used to have a coaching referral site. I had to shut it down because I couldn't get people to support it. And when I say people, I mean other Black women to join it as paid members. So I had to shut it down. But I still do referrals all the time for coaching because people come to me and ask me to be their coach. That is not something I have the bandwidth to do. It's not that I don't know how to do it. I don't have the bandwidth, but I know great Black women coaches. I always talk about the fact that a Black woman coach is the reason I believe I have the life that I have. I've had her on my channel. Her name is Tawana Bagwat. And I believe in coaching. I think it can be really, really impactful for your professional development and for your personal development. But I don't think that I and people that look like me should be asking anybody who's a member of the Alabaster Army as their first point of reference to be their coach. I feel the same way about therapists, right? I do not believe that you can be healed in the place where you got harmed. I don't believe that the source of your harm can be the source of your healing. Okay? And so I don't understand why this young lady thought that she was safe with this person anyway. But she's young. She's a younger person than me. So she probably hadn't learned. This is now her learning experience, right? You know, because she was clearly shocked and really hurt. Not only to learn that this woman had voted for the orange man, but that the woman said it with her chest and showed no concern whatsoever, right? And so we are now in a time where people have shown us with their chest who they are, what they think of us, how they feel about us, and we have to believe them and act accordingly. And act accordingly means committing to minding your business, minding our Black woman business, minding our collective business as Black people. And that means like being serious about it. We're not just saying this for clicks and likes and whatever. Some of us apparently are, right? But I would hope collectively, especially as Black women, that we are using this time to intentionally be in community with each other, to support each other's businesses. Same thing with Black men, right? All of us together are trying to do the things that we can do to support each other, excluding all the Black incels, because fortunately we got some of them, right? The 20%, we're not talking to you. We're talking to the 80% and the 92%, okay? But now is the time for that. And so we don't need to be posting about, oh, this person said this on TikTok, or sharing their TikTok videos, which does nothing but gives them engagement. I believe in the block and delete method. Y'all know that. Y'all know how I roll. I believe in hiding people's comments on threads and blocking them. Okay? I don't believe in giving people oxygen for foolishness. So I'm not going to repost your nonsense. I'm not going to talk about you. I'm not going to share your content to help you get engagement because I want clicks and attention so much that I'm elevating things that are harmful to not just my community, right? But honestly, to yourself, okay? So I urge us to be very serious about minding our business in this season and paying attention to the things that really matter. And there are things coming down the pike that are very serious, right? Like this bill that they have introduced in the House to try to dismantle all DEI programs in the federal programs. And I'll do a separate video about that and what I think the call to action is, right? But because this is very serious in my view, because it's very far reaching, right? But things like some hokey white woman on TikTok popping crap about Black women trying to jump her. In my experience, when Black women are planning to jump you, they don't send out a smoke signal or make an announcement. You just get got because you say something you don't deserve and you get what you have coming to you, right? So I'm pretty sure that Black women were actually planning to do something. They wouldn't be announcing it on TikTok or any other social media platform. So we know that this is foolishness, but I just really feel that we have to stop giving these kinds of people oxygen on TikTok, on Instagram, on Threads. Don't repost these things. Don't respond to these things. When people that look like us post it, we need to correct them with love and tell them to cut it out. And that's what I've been doing. I'm not reposting this, and I'm asking, why are you posting this? Why are you giving these people oxygen? Because that's what they want. They are very concerned about the fact that we are talking about ignoring them and not engaging with them. I don't understand why. It's like, if you don't want people to be equal citizens in your society, why do you think you should still get to engage with them on the same terms? And that you should get to dictate the terms of that engagement, right? So I think we have every right to say we've had enough, and as much as possible, we're not trying to deal with you unless it's in our interest to do so. And we have a right to make that call and make that decision after you have shown us that you don't care nothing about us, right? So I really feel like if we are serious about what we're saying we are going to do and what I believe personally that we should do, we need to do it. And we need to stop talking about it, sharing stuff, and so on. And we need to get serious. And yes, I know that I have talked about putting together a Zoom call. I'm still figuring out the vetting aspect of this. So that's the reason I haven't announced it yet, because I'm not interested in having conversations about strategy for our community and then having some interlopers showing up in there. So I'm still figuring out how to put it together in the most foolproof way possible. So if y'all have suggestions about that, please drop it in the comments. But as soon as I come up with something, because this is something I would actually like to do before the end of the year, before the Christmas holiday break, but I just have not had time to really engage about the best way to do it. Because my idea is to do a Zoom call, but I don't want it to be an open Zoom call. So I'm still trying to figure that out. But once I do that, I will share information, probably to my email subscribers about it. Not necessarily here on YouTube, probably to my email subscribers or something like that, and come up with how we're going to add people and how to, vet the participants and so on. But anyway, I want to get that off my chest. I actually got to go now because I have someone coming to meet me soon, and I think I'm good to go now. But I wanted to talk a little bit about this because I literally woke up this morning thinking about how we needed to make gatekeeping great again, which is why I wrote that post, that it's time for us to be gatekeepers. Too many of us are interested in inviting Brad, and Karen and Becky to the cookout. And I think that just because somebody acts like a decent human being does not mean that they need to be invited through the door. You can just acknowledge that they did something decent, right? Without getting them a plate, inviting them to the cookout, giving them the recipe. Stop. We really need to stop. And that goes double for my African and Caribbean massive, because some of us are entirely too white proximity seeking, okay? So please stop. It's okay to just acknowledge that someone did something decent without inviting them and giving them the blueprint and giving them the keys and giving them the recipe and giving them everything so that they can come back later and gentrify and exploit your stuff, right? And give you no credit and act like they came up with it, right? So can we please, in this season of minding our business, also make gatekeeping great again, okay? American culture is nothing without the contributions of Black Americans. Black American culture has impacted the entire globe. I have talked about this in other videos. And if any group of people has a right to be gatekeeping, it is Black Americans, okay? And making people and demanding that people respect you and respect us is Black Americans, okay? And so I really think that it's time, as we mind our business, to also make gatekeeping great again. Okay? Stop inviting everybody to cook out. Don't even give them a plate. They can enjoy the smell. And they don't need to know what the recipe was, what you're eating, what you're doing, where it came from. It's okay to smile and not answer the question. Right? It's okay to say, I'm not sharing that information at this time. It really is okay, and we need to get in the habit more of saying and doing just that, okay? So I gotta go, but I hope this little chat was helpful to you guys. We are minding our business, people. We are minding our business, and we are gonna start doing some more gatekeeping, intentional gatekeeping. That's what I recommend. Highly recommend more gatekeeping. That means we don't have to take everything we see, do, or know onto social media. And we need to use more spaces that are created for us. In addition, I'm not saying leave threads. I've decided actually that I don't want to be active on Blue Sky, but I did go claim my handles so that nobody else could. But I'm on Threads. I'm on Fanbase. I'm going to try to be more active on Fanbase. I'm still trying to figure out the medium, because I think you can only do like short videos and like photos on there. So I'm still figuring it out. But I'm there as the anti-HR, I believe. And so I do recommend that we try to use those spaces more. I understand a lot of people are on social media and they're business people and so on, so they need to be across a lot of platforms. But I just think we need to like be very intentional about how we're using these platforms and very careful about what we're sharing. Okay? It's time to make gatekeeping great again, and it's time to mind our business. See you guys in the next video. Bye.